So I'm going to just mix music and talk. And I'm going to sing a song that I wrote in 2019, and it's called Forever. And I made a little music video. You can find it on my YouTube channel. But I filmed where I live at the river, and I met some children on the road, on the trail, and I filmed them. And then I met a bunch of critters, and I filmed them. So I just kind of looked around, you know, what's there? What can I play with? Who can I play with? In the light of truth, all things are one. Opposites dissolve. What was lost can come home again to ourselves, to what we always were, as if we never left, but much more aware of the beauty, more aware of the love, and this dance of creation, the dance into life, more aware of the beauty, more aware of the love, and this dance of creation, the dance into life, and back home again, forever in the arms of love, forever safe and secure, forever we are always here, forever in the arms of love, forever we are always here, forever in the heart of love. In the heart of love. You know, there is really what's required is a shift in awareness and remembering to keep shifting. So there is one prerequisite is to become totally and completely aware of where we're at, none, without any judgment. So let's evaluate right now, just observing, and just kind of make a mental note of it. Like evaluate your state. Like, do you feel kind of a little agitated, or do you feel very uplifted or joyful, or do you feel peaceful, or do you feel just neutral? So whatever it is, you know, even if it like you had some, you know, disturbances going on, it's totally fine. We're just looking right now. So Michael Singer talked about relaxing into your discomfort. So whenever discomfort comes up, what we do is we go, no, I don't want that. Because it feels so, I don't know, it just doesn't feel very good. So we've learned to resist everything that we don't like. But has it ever worked for us, that resistance? It never worked for me. So I'm learning to relax into life, and it's difficult at times. You know, sometimes the storms that come at us are so big we can't do it, and that's okay. Then what we do, we just ride it out. We just survive it as best as we can, and then as soon as we can, we go back in to our inner being and just observe. So it's a shift in focus. Where are we? Where do we put our focus, our center, our place of home, our homing beacon? Where is it? Is it out here in the changing phenomena of the life, always doing something? In the outer world, it's like, it's always going like the waves. Or do we put our attention, awareness, and focus deep down in the ocean? Because deep down in the ocean, it's the infinite consciousness. So, one of the masters that I listened to recently, I forget which one, but he talked about our individual experience and consciousness is like a drop. It's like a little drop. So it came out of the ocean, so it's being raised up, and all of a sudden it's being let go and it's dropped back into the ocean. Go find it. Go find that drop. So as long as that little tiny drop of the ocean has arisen as a separate little drop, it thinks I'm just this little drop. But when you drop it back into the ocean, where is it? I wrote a poem years ago. It's really short, and I call it "The Sacred Wave." And I wrote it while I was in India at Oneness University, and it goes like something like this. I am riding such a sacred wave that I'm letting go of the surfboard. The ocean knows what the wave needs: to crash into shore and spend all its energy to return again as water. And that also speaks to that. So the power of our mind, you know, we are using, why is it so powerful? We're using the power of Source itself. We are this little spark, this little drop of the ocean of Source. And we have that same power. The drop, it's like a holographic projection. The drop has the same power as the ocean. So it just doesn't know it because it constantly is distracted by all these outer movements. So the power of the mind can bring us into a panic at a moment's notice, or it can bring us into peace. That's how powerful we are. So for a moment, just imagine we have different apps in the mind. Just like on the computer, they all do different things. They function differently. And we also have, they're just different operating systems. So there's the survival, reactions. Those are all the apps, survival reactions, memory, past experiences, how it worked in the past. And then there are the higher faculties. Those that plug directly into Source, where the universal intelligence lives that guides all things and makes all things happen. And so when we plug into that, then it's a whole different story. So imagine for a moment that you are in an uncomfortable situation. And just kind of notice. We don't have to hang out for very long, but just notice what that feels like, the discomfort. Maybe a memory, somebody you feel some hurt with, and just notice the sensation. So this is practicing not becoming that, but just observing it. And then also observe any resistance you might have there, whatever that is, no, I don't want to feel that, right? Let's take a nice deep breath. And now, imagine and remember something really beautiful something that makes you feel really, really good. Just if you can remember something or make something up, imagine yourself in a gorgeous garden with wonderful flowers, or with a baby that is cooing and smiling in your arms, whatever it may be. Now just notice the sensations in your body and the state of your mind right now as you go there with your mind. Just notice. No judgment, no nothing, just noticing. Curious. Exploring. Nice deep breath, always being aware of the breath. Now, did anyone here leave this room or leave your chair or have anyone do anything to you, either good or bad? Did anyone here? No. So that's just a tiny example of how powerful we are. We're just sitting here. Nothing has happened, but a lot happened as I'm guiding you to go to a negative, so-called negative experience, stressful experience. And then I guide you to go into a positive experience, and voila, you're just there. That's how powerful your mind is. So you could change state just like that. Didn't take much. Just a little focus. So there are tools that we can use. There are many, many tools available these days. You know, you probably have some favorites: meditation or chanting, music, singing. You know, Colleen and I use music for changing state. When we sing, I'm assuming for you, at least for me, when we sing, we're just right there. We're plugged into that incredible presence, and it's singing through us. And then it touches others. It brings others up with us. So we're changing state. We're changing state and we're helping others change state. How cool is that? So, since we can all do that even without music, we can actually do it if you walk into a grocery store or into the bank or into a doctor's office or whatever, and you change your state deliberately and you say, right now I'm beaming from my inner being. I am beaming radiance and compassion and support to all these other people there, all these other players in my movie. You will affect that environment hugely. Huge. So really, let's not underestimate the power of our minds. It's incredible. So what would it take for us to do that? Even if we're in a bad mood when we go in, you know, maybe you don't want to go to the grocery store or go shopping, maybe you're just a little grouchy for some reason. But if we remember in that moment, we can shift our state. We don't want to fight any kind of emotions that are not pleasant. We just want to allow them to be compassionate, meet them. Oh, okay, honey, you're having some grouchy time right now. It's all right. and you bring that with you. You bring it with you into your choice to shift your state to benevolence for yourself, for your own grouchiness, for your own inner disturbance, for the people out here that are walking around in the store or wherever. And then we actually bring tremendous healing. So the main tool is really awareness. It's always awareness, to just notice, because when we observe, we no longer are that. We're no longer, if I have a feeling and I'm observing it, I go, peculiar, these sensations. I'm not that feeling anymore, and just noticing it. The one who observes just notices, you know. Then there's this declutching. So we're not actually asking for freedom from anything. We're asking for freedom with all things. With all things. To me, that is love. And it just, for me, it's been taking a lifetime of practice. And I'm still practicing, but the practice is getting more joyful, because when you're onto it, oh my goodness, everything changes. Everything becomes so much more joyful. When you realize what a master you are in changing state, everything is wow. So Michael Singer, I recently listened to a podcast by him. You know who he is, right? He wrote books, Untethered Soul, and then he wrote a book, The Surrender Experiment, which is really great. That fits really good with this talk. But he said, imagine that you are being, let's say we come from this beautiful world, a world where we're just at home. We're just always just in this high frequency. It's not an evolutionary world as this one is, with all these challenges, but it's a world that is kind of perfect for our heart, and we're just in alignment all the time. And we just could take a little trip with a spaceship, and we're going to go take a little visit to planet Earth, which is very different. It's, got opposites, and it's got light and dark, and it has horrors and joys, and the highest horror, the highest wonder, and the most deepest, darkest despair and pain. So we go and we're just observing. We're just there to collect data. We're just kind of like seeing what is going on this planet. It's a very interesting planet. So imagine you're just walking around, you're fully present, you know where your home is and who you are. You know nothing can happen to you because you're not from Earth, you cannot die, you cannot be hurt. Maybe the appearance could just, like the holodeck on Starship Enterprise, it might appear that way, but you just know without any doubt, nothing can ever happen to you. You can't be hurt. So imagine how you would walk around Earth. Wow, isn't that amazing? Oh my goodness. Look at these beings over here creating this incredible art, this dance, this music, this beauty. And look at these ones over here creating homelessness and war and all kinds of horrors. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. You would just go, this is incredible. You would just look with compassion, with dispassion, you go, wow. And I would invite all of us to practice that a little bit. To enter home frequency right now, just go to your beautiful world or inner being. Your inner being radiates that frequency of perfection, of utter love. And it can't be compromised ever. Might forget sometimes, but it never goes away really. And just connect with that for a moment, being aware of the breath. And then just noticing thoughts coming and going. Any thoughts, whatever quality they have, just let them come in. They're kind of like clouds, little clouds floating through your sky. And you just notice whatever their quality. Might be thoughts of the past, or of the future, or it might be a judgmental thought, or it might be a fear thought, or it might be a wonderful one. Whatever it is, just notice, being present and aware. You're resting in your essence. Just for a few moments more, just notice also the feelings, the thoughts and the feelings and sensations that are going in your body. Oh, there may be some pain or tension somewhere, or there may be some relaxation somewhere in the body, but whatever it is, we just welcome it. As we stay aware that we're sitting here in this room by this beautiful lake, breathing, just here. So we can play with the mind. And that is so beautiful when we notice that we actually have power to choose and to change our state, how we relate with life, how we relate to our own feelings, thoughts, emotions, and experiences. So I came across this book recently called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And he talks about, so this is a quote from the book, if you're having trouble changing your habits, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. Bad habits repeat themselves again and again, not because you don't want to change, but because you have the wrong system for change. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So when I spoke in the beginning, I would come back to this theme, and that's what I mean. Most people, we set these high goals, and we might get a spurt of motivation and energy to go after it and get a little success. But then what? Then we're going back to the same, oh, now I need a new goal, or happiness did still not come. So if we're making the process, the habit, the little tiny habits that we use every day, when we make them important and we pay attention to the process of getting there, then we're always in aliveness. We're not having to wait for a goal, to reach a goal to become happy. We're not going to make our state dependent on that goal being achieved. So a good way to approach this is to ask ourselves, why do we want this? Why do we want what we want? Many people run after, a lot of money. Why do they want a lot of money? Well, they want to feel a certain way. And how do we want to feel deep down? Connected? Loved? Powerful? Free? Well, if we are always focused on the process, the steps of that quality, like taking little tiny steps each day, whatever that is for example, if you have a messy house and you feel overwhelmed and you have the goal to make it really nice and neat and clean and beautiful, but you just feel overwhelmed by the mess and it's too much and you can't find the time. So you can get bogged down and not be happy in your environment because you haven't achieved the big goal. Well, that's kind of sabotaging yourself. But if you focus on the process, today, let's see what I can do today. Even a 1% little shift of a small habit, the system that will overall contribute to that goal, then you're always in the positive. You'll always feel good. So you say, today I have time to clean this little countertop, or to clean this little table, or to clean this little corner, or this drawer. And then you do this little thing, and then you feel good. You're always in a positive because you are making a step, a tiny step, even no matter how small it is. And so let's transfer that to our spiritual goals, if there is such a thing. For me, what would I like? I would like to be present with life and be able to meet the heartache of the world with enough love and courage to where I can be with it all. So I used to want freedom from pain, but that's changed. As I've matured, that has changed. So now what I want is to be able to be with the joy and the pain of this planet and the beings on this planet and meet it fully. Not to escape it. Because this is what seems to be happening on this evolutionary world. And in order to do that, I had to let go of wanting it to be perfect. I had to also let go of a thought that it should be different. What if this planet is the way it is because for some purpose of evolving, whatever that means, or exploring, And the souls that will graduate from this particular experience might be so strong from training so hard in boot camp that will create universes, you know, that will have the wisdom and the inner fortitude and strength to create whole universes. Who knows? I mean, I leave it open. But to not want it to be different, to do my best to love and improve what I can and to bring a higher frequency to situations, but not to be at war with how it is here. Not be at war with the darkness and the opposites. The resistance is what brings us pain, always. The resistance to our feelings, the resistance to our thinking, the resistance to the world, to life, to anything that is, when we resist it, it brings us pain. Because there's tension in it. So the key is relaxation. Relaxing into the discomfort. That takes some practice. So all those things has changed me a lot. The way I approach life, the way I am with life. And I'm very grateful for that. And I think I can go much, much deeper with that. There are still some things that really challenge that, where I get upset and I can't stay in neutral and meet it. But I don't beat myself up anymore. I know that that is a part of the process. And, you know, in every story where you have a hero and a villain, have you ever noticed that the hero, as the hero grows in strength, the villain does too? They're always perfectly matched, right? You know, whether it's Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, or whether it's, you look at any fairy tale, any story, the hero is always matched by the perfect villain. So these energies, as I grow and I master certain things better, then the challenges rise. The challenges get more powerful too, so that I can grow more. And maybe that's the game we play here, you know. I don't really know, but it seems like it. So making things a little more light, making things a little bit more just playful, and forgiving ourselves for whatever we are experiencing immediately. So this is my homework for you today. From now on, I would like you to forgive yourself for everything that arises in you immediately. So there is a quote, if I can find it, from Abraham, Abraham Hicks. It's so cute. This is a helpful angle on forgiveness. But you can apply this with someone you have trouble with, another person maybe. Someone you have some hurt with, or something in life. Like for me, it's the neighbors that are bulldozing all the forest because they're paranoid about fire, so they destroy nature. For me, that's really, really hard. But anyhow, he goes, the person that needs to do something is not that person. The person that needs to do something is you. Some of those people in your life do not deserve your good thoughts. In other words, they're bad, evil, wrong, inappropriate. Well, think of certain politicians, right? They do not deserve your good thoughts. And you stubbornly are not going to give them any. They may not deserve your good thoughts, but you do. I was wondering where Abraham was going with this, right? You deserve your good thoughts about them. This is what the art of allowing is. It is allowing my own well-being. Isn't this brilliant? It's like, yeah, there are certain things I don't want to forgive or be okay with in this world, But they may not deserve your good thoughts, but you do. You deserve your good thoughts about them. This is amazing. That changed, because I have a friend I live with that always talks about forgiveness, and he always says, it's like a keyboard, just push F1. I go, honey, that doesn't work for me. I'm not that fast of a processor. He goes, it's easy, just push F1, just forgive, forgive, forgive. I go, doesn't work for me, but this, if I think about it, I deserve my good thoughts about them because that changes the whole frequency. Has to be something in it for me, right? Anyway, I found that really awesome. And then there is always another tool for changing state is contemplation of truth. But here's the thing, Matt Kahn talks about this. If you clobber the inner child that is upset or hurt in the moment with spiritual truth, he says the inner child is going to turn gangster. I've had that. I mean, I went through the biggest heartache of my life. And the person who was, let's say, triggering that heartache kept saying, it's just a movie. It's not real. Nothing to be upset about. And I wanted to punch him in the face. I really did. But that was my inner child. How dare you, you know. There was a lot of heartache, a lot of pain. And it's a process to learn to evolve and be with that, to meet that fully. So what we do with the inner child, with the hurts, we don't change them. We meet them fully. That's the first step. And when we embrace all that pain and hurt, then the state changes automatically. So the inner child really should not be clobbered with spiritual truth. But when we are in a good state, a positive state, neutral state, then it's really good to study teachings. Like I often put on some wonderful interview with, you know, whoever, a masterful interview while I'm doing cleaning or something where I don't have to think. Because the mind tends to kind of go around like a hamster in a wheel. Have you noticed? Always the same thought loops. It's so boring, but it thinks it's so interesting. So what I do is I just listen to wisdom. I let the wisdom in when the mind is kind of in neutral. I let the wisdom in. Just keep feeding it good stuff, wisdom that I want, I choose. Not because anything is good or bad, because that's the direction I choose to go in. So I do that as a tool. And then it becomes more easy to remember these deeper truths when the inner child comes up with its hurt. You know, then, so you're training a muscle. Then when the real race comes in, where it's really hard, you have more strength to meet it. So again, it's always awareness, always about awareness. And I want to, how much time would you guys like for the ending of the service? Want me to? Finish up, okay. So I want to end with a prayer by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's just such a beautiful blessing. Reminds me a little bit of the Irish blessing, you know, may the wind be in your back always. He says, hold on a second. Bless your body, that it be lifted to a new mind, to a new energy. Bless your life, that it can be an extension of your divine mind. Bless your past, that it turn to wisdom. Bless the challenges in your life, that they initiate you into greatness. Bless your future, that your life purpose is fulfilled. Bless your soul, that it wakes you from this dream, and that it be your guide. The inner being that we talked about earlier. And bless the benevolent energy of the unseen to move in you, to stir in you, to flow through you and all around you. bless you that the sea of awareness becomes your mind, that its nature becomes your nature, that its will becomes your will, and its love for life becomes your love for life, to delight with you in the depths of your being. And just to end together, let's chant Lokaha Samastaha. That is a prayer in Sanskrit that means, may all beings connected to me grow in wisdom, peace, and strength, and happiness. And may my life and how I am guided to share be of benefit to all beings everywhere. Humans, animals, insects, plants, earth, and stars. And we'll just chant that a few times. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And as we chant it a few more times, just connect with your inner being, your heart, and let that energy flow out through your arms and through your hands, and just bless whatever you want to bless. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace.
Beautiful. Thank you, Angelica. Now it's time for our prosperity. And there's many ways to give to our center. And we don't have any new people, so I know that everyone is fully aware of how to give to our center. Shirley, honey, would you like? Sure. Are you going to do the last United Thoughts Surrounds Me?
Yes.
You want me to do that? You're going to do it, right?
No, go, yeah, I can.
Okay.
There was a song. When was that song?
Yeah, you can do a song now.
And then do the
and
prosperity.
then do the benediction.
Okay.
Okay. So just
Right.
repeat after me. In everything I give thanks. I gratefully and joyfully share my offering, which flows from God, my infinite source. My gift blesses this center and all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities. And all who are guided, healed, and empowered by its activities. And so it is. Amen. Okay, now we'll have a song from Angelica.
The song is called Simply Love, Aham Prema, I am the Supreme Love, in Sanskrit. I wrote this song in 2015. If everything I think I am just comes and goes, how I thought life should be turns out to be false. Beyond the changing faces, what remains? Who am I who is asking? What does not change? Is it all simply love? display, I'm simply a part of the flow, and love is unfolding as love only knows. I pray for the grace to see love's perfect play in all that arises as part of me. Is it all simply love? Is it all love divine? Sing with me. Is it all simply love? Is it all love divine? Is it all love divine? Aham prema, aham prema, aham prema, aham prema, aham prema, aham prema. Om Parama Prema Rupaya Namaha. Om Parama Prema Rupaya Namaha. Om. And now repeat after me. The love of God surrounds me.
The love of God surrounds me.
The light of God enfolds me.
The light of God enfolds me.
The power of God protects me.
The power of God protects me.
The presence of God watches over me.
The presence of God watches over me.
Wherever I am,
Wherever I am,
God is.
God is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.